Okay, we are live.
It's been cool talking to people.
Hold on. I got a problem here. Here we go. All right. We are ready to rock and roll. Thank y'all for tuning in to Facts Over Feelings tonight. We got some major things to discuss tonight.
Breaking news.
Wait, breaking news. We need to get us a breaking news thing on here. But two things I just want to make sure we cover tonight. First, especially Facts Over Feelings is celebrating 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year. Yeah. Should have had some champagne in here. So, yeah, right. Right.
Hey, we
we got water.
Spiked water.
We can toast it on the water, right?
Yeah. So thank y'all for chilling out with me for a year. As I said before, I did not expect or foresee it going to where we are and what this platform has started. I thought I was just gonna be on here talking some stuff here and there and a few featured guests, and then this thing has just exploded to something totally cracking for real. So thank y'all for tuning in with me for a year, y'all. Thank you, and hopefully we're gonna make another year.
Absolutely.
In this year time, I've gained a co-host.
Yes, sir.
Jordan.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
Man, great.
And it's been a pleasure. I'm glad I decided to come on and do this with you. It's been a blast so far.
We've been having fun.
Yes, we have. Good conversations, good relationship buildings, good rapport. Good. I love it.
Yeah, man. This has just been awesome for me. I really just loving our deal here. And tonight, as some of y'all saw, I didn't know until late this afternoon that I would have a special guest with us. We have Stacy Smider, who's running for county county supervisor position in District 7. He's on the ballot. So hope y'all got y'all votes and stuff cast. But we were made aware of some information we're going to share and talk about real quick as we go into the show tonight. But I do want to cover again, we have to make sure that we are voting people. Today is election day. There's no excuse at all for us not to vote. So make sure you go to myvote.gov.
Yep.
If you need to know where you need to go vote at, if it's something that's changed, the information is there for you. All you got to do is put in your information there, your name, address, and it pop everything in there for you. But make sure y'all go vote for, I think there was 4 or 5 different polling stations that MPS, Milwaukee Public Schools, is offering. They are staying open till 9 because they had an issue this morning with utilization and people getting into the site, I believe it was, from what I saw. But those polling stations will be open until 9 p.m. tonight. Those 4 or 5 stations. What they are, I don't know. I wish I could tell y'all, but I don't. But I'm just letting folks know.
Oh, I read them earlier. I'll look it up while you.
Okay. Yeah. So folks will know. We would, but these elections matter, y'all. These off, as they call them, off-year elections. These local elections, they matter more than anything because they literally impact our communities more than any other race. When you have aldermen, you got judges, we got state Supreme Court, we got county supervisors, all this stuff going on. And this is the reason why a lot of these things in our communities go by and things are not taken care of in the manner in which we want them to, because we don't vote. We let these people run uncontested. They just stay in there and then y'all just vote for the person because that's the only one there. We got to stop doing that. If we really want to make change, this is how we start. And again, not to say this is how we combat MAGA in these midterms. It's very important for us to get out here and make sure we wipe the slate clean of these MAGA folks because they are no good for this country. And we have to make sure that our power is in that ballot box, y'all. So these midterm elections, we got to show up and show the hell out for real. Right. John Fetchy says, "What's up, fam? What's going on, John? Thank you for joining, man." He says he voted today, number 98. Yes,
man,
y'all.
Shout out to John, man. Doing his due diligence and executing his right.
Yeah. So y'all come on in, post y'all vote numbers and stuff, the numbers that you voted tonight, so we can comment and we shout y'all out. What you said, Jordan?
Yeah, so I found the schools that were impacted by the delay this morning. So the 4 sites that will be open until I believe 9 o'clock tonight will be Maryland Avenue Montessori School on the east side, as well as 3 north side schools, Green Bay Avenue Public School, Sherman Multicultural Art School, and Milwaukee Environmental Science Academy.
Oh, okay.
So if you were impacted by those, you got turned away, or you're in the line and you want to still get out and vote, you have an additional, I guess, an hour to get out and vote at those 4, if you're voting at those 4 locations.
Okay, perfect. And it's your right. They can't turn you away. If you're in line, polls closed, you still can cast your vote all the way. You have the legal right to vote all the way up until whenever, if you're in that line. So don't tell them, they can't tell you to get out and we close, none of that. You're in line, make sure you still able to cast your vote. Yep.
If they first time voters, they registering for the very first time, gotta come with some proof of address, whether it's a cell phone bill, utility bill, one thing of them natures. Yes, they are turning you around if you don't have the proof of address.
Yep.
So just be prepared for it today.
Yeah, and just get ready, y'all. But go ahead and make sure y'all doing what y'all need to do. But come on in, family, people that's out there. Come on, post in the comments. Tell me what was your number that you voted in today. Let us know throughout the show.
14.
He was number 14.
My wife was 14. I was number 15, but we voted at like 7-something this morning.
Okay.
And I met with the McGovern seniors today. I just left from them. And one of the ladies said she was number 46. And this was literally at 3-something when she voted.
Oh, that's low.
Number 46.
206 zip code. Yeah, but that's all. That's one of those low turnout.
Yeah, I lived it.
La Follette, that's next. That's downtown, close to downtown.
La Follette only had 12 people in there voting.
Between 9th
and Ring, yeah. Not 9th and Ring.
That's District 5. That's District 6.
La Follette, yeah, 9th and Ring.
Yeah, La Follette Elementary. Yeah,
okay.
That's right. But I used to stay on 12th and Ring, so that was my stepping grounds.
Okay, yeah, and I stayed on 19th and Nashville over 11 years. And so that ward over there is, like you said, low. Normally when I would vote, we would vote at St. Matthew's Church around the corner on Atkinson. We would normally always be like 15, 20, 30.
That's because they make people feel like they votes and they voice don't matter because of the strategic design of how you got to be invited to tables and Don Perignon.
And and that's why we had our voters on forum, so we can tell folks that our power is right there in our hands. We just people just don't know and understand the power that we hold as citizens, that we can make a change with just going there to vote.
Yeah, and I think, but that goes back to on either the elected official in holding the office or people who are running against them. There has to be a way that people who are running to be elected, represent the community, are going in and engaging those people. There's no reason why you knocking on doors, we knocking on doors for our elections, right? That shouldn't happen necessarily just around election time. We need to be figuring out a way that we're engaging these people throughout the year, doing stuff, having events for them, towing up at the park, doing cookouts, doing all kind of stuff to get people engaged.
Campaign is being visible. You cannot be an elected official and ain't seeing your people.
Right.
Right. We're gonna make this a monthly deal.
We have actual deliverables where we're meeting, coming up with what deliverables we trying to address, and then the next meeting we're giving an update from those deliverables.
Right.
And then now after we accomplish those deliverables, we moving on to the next step.
That's how it should go.
Everybody should be able to know who your elected official is. You should know what the position is. You should know what an alderman does. You should know what a county supervisor does. You should only be able to know who your mayor and your county exec and governor is. That's ridiculous.
Yep. Yeah. And if you don't know who they are, at least be able to see, like, I know that face, because they in the hood, they in the community, they coming out and seeing me.
Right. Yeah. I ain't never met him, but I see him all the time. We don't get that. We get the same. Oh, I don't see him. Or they try to say, well, you only gonna see him during the election. Yeah, you only see him during the election. And if they ain't got no race, no contested race, you ain't hearing from. After they gather your signature, that's it. The other 15 aldermen, after they got their signatures coming, knocking on your door, talking about, oh, I'm doing such a great job, they set back. They all sliding in. We got people running who in seats uncontested. Yeah. People giving up seats so that they friends can get in those seats uncontested. It's like little things like that.
We're doing that.
We ain't gonna talk about District 5.
Oh shit.
We're talking about District 5, how
man,
you just slid out the seat and you're letting your somebody else sliding in.
Judge you, man, it's rough.
Crazy work.
One thing I want to get to tonight too, because we didn't get to it at the forum, is folks that need to know who their alderman is and their district county supervisor. You go to citymilwaukee.gov and Milwaukee Common Council, you pull up, it pulls up, and it prompts you to put in your address. That will let you know who your alderman person is. And when you put in that address, your address is always going to pull up every elected official in your area who represents you, all the way down, all down to federal. You said, well,
just call one of us. We'll tell you.
what
district you in?
And thank y'all too. People have been inboxing me, asking me who am I voting for and who should they vote for.
Oh yeah, I got a couple.
You know, that really warmed my heart. Seriously, like, oh man,
You're a trusted advisor now.
Right. I'm a trusted advisor. Like seriously, like for y'all that reached out, thank y'all. Because that just made my day. And I was like, okay, well, you should go down the list and go to this, go to this person, go to that person.
Background, man.
Yeah,
Google them, see what they doing.
What I did with my ballot, because I voted absentee, so I got the ballot mailed to me at home. I just kind of Googled like because I didn't know I know some of the judges because I work for DLC and I come in contact with a lot of them, so I knew of them already. But some people I didn't know. I just Googled their names and then I looked at, some of them was appointed by Scott Walker, some people was appointed by Evers. So I was looking at that. I'm like, okay, you appointed Scott Walker. I ain't touching nothing with Walker name on it. I just can't do it. Right. So yeah. I really do believe in if they put themselves in your face, you won't know.
Shouldn't be voting. Yeah. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, you should. I mean, for a judge is different. Judges don't run the campaign like that. Like for circuit,
even for a judge should be out there putting their face. They sentencing your kids, your family.
Oh, what she got? What she got?
She said she wants some FaceTime. She got something to say.
If they ain't in your face, go ahead, Tay.
Come on, Tay. What you got?
There were some things that transpired today. However, I would like to give a shout out to Miss Felicia Martin. She did finally send out a newsletter.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah, it's 8 years later, but
is that what you want?
Better late than never, right?
I'm gonna wait to give her.
Okay.
It's fair, but
yeah.
I know you got some stuff she did today.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we getting to that. We getting to that. I'm just warming up. We getting to that. John says, we need to stay in contact and work together. Yeah, definitely, Fletcher. Yeah, definitely. Community forum. Yeah, we're gonna have another one and we're gonna have you on. Definitely. Yes, sir. But yeah, y'all made your boy feel real special today reaching out. So thank y'all for that. I try to just vote my conscience and I vote for my community. That's how I pick a candidate, based off of what they talking about. Again, I'm a moderate liberal, so I do tend to stay on the liberal side of things, but that's how I do it, man. And I wore my voter shirt for y'all again today. Informed voter, you got to be informed of what's going on around you.
Absolutely.
So the reason why we got Stacey with us today, because we were made aware of some late breaking news, as Jordan said. We need some late breaking news. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun. And Stacey called us up and said he wanted to talk about the issue that was going on today at a polling site. And as we know, again, Stacey is running for county supervisor position in District 7. He's on that ballot, so y'all make sure y'all vote for Stacey. I did so. I had it in my ballot to one of the drop boxes, ballot drop boxes. That's why I tend to vote. But yeah, man, I had the fam. We all got together. His wife and my daughter. Dad, who we voting for? You already know. Go ahead and mark that. Mark that. Yeah. So we got you in there. So Stacey, man, tell us what's going out there in these voting streets, man.
Yeah, y'all gotta, like I said, gotta excuse. I'm dressed. I've been out in the field, so I've been spending most of my day in the field, door knocking, just trying to get the last of the voters out. This is going to be a very tight, contested race.
Oh yeah,
I'm not taking anything lightly, and I don't want any of the voters to either. But it is very vital and important that you get out and vote. But also, too, I want to inform everybody that we had a situation at the Mary Ryan's Boys and Girls Club polling place today. A few voters,
Sherman and Burleigh.
It was a voting couple that's I know, and they know me, and they thought they were actually going to be going to vote there to vote for me. When they got there, they told them, "Hey, we're here to vote for the District 7 race." And they informed them, "Well, what's your address?" They asked them what the address was, and they explained to them, "Unfortunately, you're not in District 7. You're not in District 7, or what they said was you're not in Felicia Martin's district. That's her race." Okay. For one, you're not supposed to be mentioning any incumbents or any candidate's name. That was a strike one right there. But then they proceeded to, after they realized that they were from their district, they was trying to get them to, when they were standing there in the line, one of the poll workers, Miss Mabel Miss Mabel of the Sherman Park Phoenix Sherman Community Center.
Okay.
She proceeded to take out her cell phone, her personal cell phone. Mind you, she was an inspection. She was an election inspector.
Yep.
She was a worker. As a worker, you're supposed to be neutral, not mention anything about candidates, let alone pull out your cell phone to make a call to the candidate. And she called Felicia Martin on the phone and passed the voter's wife the phone. While they were with the ballot in her hand, she passed her the phone and she explained to her how, she appreciate the support, how unfortunately they're not in her district, and proceeded to tell them where her district boundary line started and thanked them for being a supporter. That violates Wisconsin Statute 1203 of interfering with election. You're not allowed in campaigning within 100 feet within a polling place or a location.
Wow.
Even if you just calling a candidate and saying that, hey, I want to say thank you, that's illegal. That's voter interference, and as voter interference, but also voter where you're changing their influence. So it's voter interference and voter influencing. That's against the law. You cannot do that.
So let's break this down for the lay people that's watching. So 2 people came to vote, went to the Boys and Girls Club, Mary Ryan Ranch, Sherman Bro. Went there to vote. Thought they was casting their vote for you.
Casting their vote in my
told
district,
by the poll worker there, no, your district is 10.
You need to be voting for.
And the person that they should have been voting for is running uncontested.
And they like, we don't know her. And so they like, we didn't come here to vote for her. We thought we were coming here to vote for District 7.
Yep.
So all in the midst of that, before they got to telling them to vote for the Marcelle Nicholson girl, Mabel called Felicia Martin on the phone while sitting at the election table, handed the phone to the voter. The voter husband called me like, hey, I'm not an election expert, but we were told we're not in your district, so we can't vote for you, bro. But let me ask you a question. Do workers supposed to be calling people that you running against? Do they supposed to be calling her? I'm like, hell no. Who the hell doing that? He was like, well, Felicia Martin on the phone with my wife right now. Whoa. The lady just handed her the phone. I said, what's the lady's name? Who handed the phone? Because I'm about to report her. He was like, excuse me, ma'am. She in the background just going a mile a minute, not knowing that he's on the phone reporting her. Like, hey, asking me like, yo, is she supposed to be doing this? She's like, oh, my name is Mabel. I said, Mabel of the Sherman Park Community Center, the executive.
Mabel.
I was like, she knows she don't supposed to be doing that. I said, you know what? You're crazy. I know I said that all country. Mabel. Hey, that's the Chicago accent in me a little bit. Because I was shocked by it. I'm like, oh no, don't tell me they doing that. And he was like, yeah, bro, I'm not. And she like, oh no, he like, bro, I don't think we the only one. She needed to. People in front of us too. That she handed her phone too. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Whoa. Oh, that's illegal. So I was already out canvassing. Right. So I pull up to Mary Ryan's Boys and Girls Club. Mind you, like I say, I do my research before I do anything. I knew that was illegal. Every location has an inspector, a chief inspector, whose job is to oversee that site. I went immediately to him. I didn't want to cause a scene or make it loud, even though I was fuming. I went directly to him and said, hey, I have been informed by voters, 2 voters who left here and want to know how I know I'm not lying, and I know they're not lying. They were so rattled by the whole situation that they actually left with a ballot and a ticket number. You're not supposed to leave the building with the ballot or the ticket. So now they are short a ballot and a ticket.
Were they confronted by the chief inspector?
No, the chief inspector said that he was seeing the situation, but he didn't catch the gist of the phone call. But he was there when they both was there, because he even said it. Yeah, they just left. But also left with a ballot. But he trying to say I'm lying about how the situation played out. Mabel,
the inspector.
Yeah, he's saying that I'm lying about that's not how it went down, and I'm stretching the truth. No, so after I went and told him, hey, she has to be removed. she's in here voter interference. She's calling the Felicia Martin, calling the incumbent. You cannot call or contact or promote or do anything for no candidates here. You're violating the law, and you pretty much you violating, you interfering with the election. That's grounds for not criminal charges of going to jail, but hey, you can be fined for that. That's illegal. You cannot be interfering, contacting. I can't call and thank voters for voting for me. And when I say Wisconsin Statute 603, that refers to confidentiality of how I vote and my behavior, meaning that I cannot call Jordan campaign and say, hey, Stacey just voted for you, and it looked like 10 people in here voted for you. That's violating Wisconsin Statute 6-03, and I tell everybody, Google it. You don't believe what I'm saying? Just Google Wisconsin Statute 12-03 and Wisconsin Statute 6-03 when it comes to election. When it comes to the election. And so he asked her, he went and told her, hey, I've been informed, and there's a complaint about you voter interfering, and you're reaching out to the candidate while voters are in the building, and you're handing them the phone. So he didn't even know how to, the chief inspector didn't even know how to handle the situation. So he pulled out some form talking about, hey, we're going to treat this like a challenge, even though it's not a challenge. I'm not challenging somebody's ability to vote. She's blatantly calling the candidate while people are voting and passing her the phone to say thank you.
I have a question. So if they hadn't voted yet,
they weren't even voting yet.
They hadn't voted yet. What would be the reason for her?
That's voter. That's trying to. That's influencing the voter.
You saying he said you were
lying. Yeah.
So what caused them to leave? That would be
because the reason why they left was because they said they felt right, and then they left because they said that when she got to tapping on the paper trying to make them vote for the girl after they told them what they were there for, and that they didn't come to vote for her except for me in District 7. They were ready to go, but they was forcing it. So his wife came and said, I'm not comfortable with this. I'm ready to go. And they got up and stormed out because they couldn't believe that all of that was happening at the same time. You got one candidate on the phone, and then you forcing me, telling me, hey, even though you're not voting for who you want, you can still vote for this person, and proceeded to tap the ballot.
The electronic ballot. So it was the electronic ballot.
The electronic ballot that she was tapping, but he said he was tapping by the very name. I was like, she tapping by Marcel Nicholson name, ain't she? He was like, yeah, that's the name that's on the ballot right there that she's tapping by. I said, yeah, she don't supposed to be doing any of that. She don't supposed to be having no conversation with you about no candidates at all.
Oh, wow.
And so when I got up there, I got there, I told him I told the chief inspector what happened. I said, yes, she has to be immediately removed according to law. If you are interfering, influencing voters, you are no longer a neutral election worker. You are now picking sides. You are campaigning against the law to campaign or interfere or voter influencing. You can no longer engage in this campaign, at least this polling place. You can no longer do it. So he asked her to come out so we can talk. We go into a room to talk. I'm a firm believer in allowing people to have a spill when you're going to speak the truth to me. But when you blatantly coming out your mouth to start the conversation off with a lie and say that they were two, I don't care if you did think if they were two of her supporters, you weren't supposed to call her. And she admitted that she's like, there's two sides of a story. Would you allow me to explain? I said, there's no justifiable reason. There's no excuse you can give that you called her. And if you called her, you no longer can engage in this polling site. And what you did is interfered with an election. She told me she didn't care. She don't care who I reported to. So I said, oh, okay. And then when she tried to say they was both, and she repeated again that they both was her supporters before I called her, I didn't no longer wanted to talk with her. And I told him, hey, seemed like you trying to side with her. I no longer want to talk with you because you don't even know how to handle this situation. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to file my complaint. I am going to social media. When I leave here, I am calling Wisconsin Election Commission. And I'm also calling the Milwaukee Municipal Clerk, because guess who's in charge of the election? The municipal clerk, the Milwaukee County Municipal Clerk's office, that who oversees the election. So I called the Wisconsin Election Commission. He said, well, let me call and see and check with them to see if this is check into this. I said, it ain't nothing to check in. She admitted she did it.
Yeah.
So the only thing I'm doing is filing a formal complaint. And yes, I'm filing on her and the incumbent. I don't care if y'all did it unintentionally and didn't know you wasn't supposed to do it. You're not supposed to be contacting nobody during the election to tell them, hey, these are your supporters, or hey, they voted for you. She just want to say thank you. That's illegal as hell. That is voter interference and voter influencing. Because if I get a call from a candidate, I'm gonna be happy than a motherfucker. And that's gonna change my views. I probably came in to vote for Dorian, but because Jordan hit me, all I'm thinking about, damn, I just got off the phone with him. This Dorian asked, this nigga ain't called me not one time. Now I'm going to vote for Jordan. The smallest little thing, but it's like those types. And so when I left, my exact words to him as I left out, if she is still here when I come back and she's still in there working the polls, not only am I reporting her and filing a complaint, but I'm reporting your ass too. And I told them both, you have a good day.
Okay.
Because he was mad because I didn't want to hear nothing he had to say. He was like, you're not going to just walk away. I said, I'm a grown man. You're not going to tell me why I can and can't walk. This is not no court of order. He should. I said, if anything, you should be upset with what she did and how they left out with a ballot. They didn't just leave on it because they wanted to leave and cause trouble. They was frustrated at how y'all handled them. These were first time voters. He was, and he's never voted. His wife voted. They weren't even coming to vote for nobody except to vote for me.
They thought they would come. What
they thought they were doing.
So anything else is coming from this? Or
I haven't heard back from them. Yeah, so I went to social media, but it's like those, like, yo, y'all that perplexed to remaining in a seat that you're doing those types of things, whether you did it maliciously or what you did it unintentionally and didn't know that you couldn't do it. You should be knowing what you're doing when you are working as an election worker, and this is not your first time working as an election working and as an elected official. You should most definitely know that you're not supposed to be telling voters thank you after they vote or before they vote, or if you find out they're your supporter, you having election workers call. Like, you ain't got no pull like that. What they thought was that those two individuals wasn't going to contact me and let me know what happened.
That's great. That's wild, y'all. I've never heard of that happening
they missing
before.
a ballot.
That's probably why he didn't know how to handle it. Yeah.
He's got a whole
ticket. So at the end of the night, I'm a chief inspector for one of my polling sites. So we count the ballots. So we make sure that the machine matches the amount of ballots that are cast and the voter registration numbers. And if there's missing, you can record it as a missing. If something and mistakes happen. So if somebody walks away with their ballot unexpectedly, didn't put it in the machine, doesn't get counted, we can usually mark that as a challenge on the challenge sheet, or I think it is actually called the challenge sheet, just so that we know if there's an issue. So in this case tonight, there will be, when they count the ballots, they'll see a missing ballot and number, and they'll have to reconcile that or have a reason to justify why it's missing.
And the reason why it's missing was because they said they didn't even realize they had it when they got to the car. They was just so thrown off by how the whole situation played out, because it was like they said they felt they were forcing them to vote for whoever was on that paper. And they was like, and
especially with the guy he had never voted.
They not the confrontational style. So any husband, when my wife telling me I'm uncomfortable, I'm ready to go, you like, shit, hey,
it's time to go.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
And you should not have to feel like that when you go in to vote.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should be able to go in, make your choice, and go home without anybody calling and saying thank you or calling candidates. That shit is illegal.
Yeah.
I'm running a fair campaign and I'm getting all types of shade, throwing people for months talking about me, mentioning my mama, but it's like, it is not that serious. Like, it's this serious for a seat. Like, yo, that's crazy work. That's why we got to really get in tune into this, man.
Yeah.
So in about 11, 12 minutes, Trump said it's going to go.
Oh, yeah.
He just said something?
He just said something else. I saw something about a ceasefire.
Yeah, he said it's about 7 o'clock
tonight. Oh, no, I came across, it said that Iran and the U.S. has agreed to a 2-week ceasefire.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
We talking about Donald Trump now.
This is never, look at here.
This is from Politico.
This
is why there's the sophistication.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen. This is what a bully does, right? we can't bomb them because the moment that we bomb or even threat, realistically,
which he did,
threatened.
Yeah,
you can see now they make a ceasefire. Don't you think that China has something to say about that? Because if the U.S. does anything to Iran, China gonna be on U.S. ass.
Yeah. Oh
so,
yeah. They lined up on wherever he said
yeah.
They had their younger people lined up.
Yep, that I just saw that. He was like a human shield across the
and that's why you got to be careful who you trying to mess with people, man.
Yeah, they came.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
already trying to introduce articles of impeachment.
Impeachment. They need to invoke the 25th Amendment.
Yeah.
He needs
you
to
got to have cabinet members
without,
who are sycophants got to sign off on that.
Yeah.
You can't start a war
but
without congressional authority.
Politico did report, it says President Donald, I hate saying his name. Oh. Agent Orange announced Tuesday evening that the U.S. has reached a 2-week ceasefire agreement with Iran ahead of the looming deadline, averting what he's previously described as.
So check this out. Did Iran agree to this ceasefire, or did the United States, aka Trump, say because he can't get his way, he's going to backpedal from what he said he's going to do again?
There's no this administration lies.
Yeah,
and are so inept.
Don't even know.
There's no, we don't even know. And I don't trust Politico because y'all bend the knee to the administration. Like all these websites and these.
Yeah, they've been in there. It's like
you can't trust nothing.
There's a lot of these independent organizations.
Yeah, they already said he was lying, right?
Clearly, Iran didn't make any kind of concession because they just said they're going to make a human shield around their site.
Right. So they're making a human child and sacrifice their young folks. They ain't trying to have no ceasefire.
Yeah.
Well, they said they just got the ones that were willing
to die.
And these kind of people, like, you don't mess with
people like that. People, willingly, like, I'm gonna die for this nation.
There's a reason why
that's how we lost Vietnam War. Right. People were willing to lose everything for their land.
And there's a reason why the last 3 or 4 presidents have not entered in a full-scale war, specifically with Iran.
Correct.
Because they know some crazy bitches willing to give their whole life up.
And it turns into a regional war because, again, you got China, and now you got Tehran. Well, Tehran is there, but you got China, and then Russia comes in, and then Korea, and then Jordan, and then Libya, and then Sudan. Like, it's a whole domino effect of stuff that happened. You already see what's happening with the Strait, right? With the oil production, like, this global market that we're in, we have an idiot president who either doesn't understand it or doesn't care, which both are wrong and incompetent and stupid. This is where we are at in this world today, and it's unfortunate.
Okay, now 12 is saying, what did 12 just say? 12 says Trump backs off strikes as Iran agrees to a 2-week ceasefire, temporarily reopening
the Strait of Hormuz. 2 weeks ceasefire. So does that mean that the U.S. can still strike as much as they want to, and Iran don't have to defend themselves?
Right. Like, what's going on now? This is 12 saying that. So
okay.
Iffy with
we'll see. We'll see.
If he does anything else, we're not going to be able to get any oil or anything for a few years.
Well, and here's the other thing. One of Trump's biggest things was like they want to take control of the Strait. They still don't have control of the Strait.
Still ain't got control, right?
Iran is still controlling what happens in there. They're still
they making money. They finna start charging them. They finna start charging them in that Strait.
They only taking the Chinese.
So
it's wild.
They're trying to get off of that. I don't think it's happened yet. They might be doing something specifically right now to
get some funding, but
but on the world market, but that's the bigger play is on the world market. Right. What they're trying to do is decrease the value of the dollar and start using a different monetary source to be the global.
But it's gonna be rough on that though, from an economic standpoint and an economist.
It's not going.
Yeah, they ain't gonna go. They can try all they want, but
But y'all, again, this is the man is literally doing everything he promised to do. Like, literally, this was one of the things they talked about. Iran. They talked about ripping up the deal that Obama had made with Iran.
And that's crazy. He got so much. I've never met a man that is obsessed with Barack Obama. I've never met an administration just so obsessed with a man that ain't been in office in 10 years. It's like, damn, is you sleep and wake up thinking Obama?
Living rent free in his head.
Living rent free, man.
Obama ain't thought about him. Like, bro, I ain't thought about you. I ain't mentioning you.
Right.
But yet, every time I turn around, you got this man mouthing you. Obama, Obama crazy deal. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Obama said, "Oh,
yeah,
gonna have
I'll be going. I'll be going.
Have a fit when that go open.
He's
gonna be like, I want a Trump Center right now. All the main changes on the buildings, airport.
Yeah, they
said Ron DeSantis down in Florida. They need to just hurry up and just get rid of that fucker, dog. You see, he just tried to pass his own SAVE Act. The old version of the SAVE Act.
Yeah.
Like you just that far up that motherfucker ass. He told you he didn't like you. You just got your head all up his ass.
And the people that still, out here and defending this man, especially folks that look like us, y'all stupid.
Very.
I'm just gonna have to say that y'all stupid. I mean, Jordan, I have to tell you, I was on the post, man. I put up a post about how blacks stopped and started voting for Democrats and why. It was factual information.
Mm-hmm.
It was all you do is go and Google search it as to when did that shift start and why? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Jordan, for coming in. Jordan came in there with some books and stuff. They shut the hell up after
all
that.
All you gotta do is read.
It's
that's why I said
it was plain. If you just Google it.
Yeah, Google
they like to run off of that. Democrats, Southern Democrats. They like to run off of that.
Dixiecrats is what they were called. They were called Dixiecrats. That is the truth.
And
but
the Republicans originally, and then they try to use Ripton, Wisconsin. The Republican Party started here.
Yeah, we know.
They were abolitionists. Yeah, that group was. You Republicans now, y'all ain't nowhere near no abolition status.
Yeah, and the reason why that came up because I wanted to share is like y'all can't just be saying this stuff and don't say and don't give context. You can't just put a Democratic Party is KKK. You can't just say that and then
no context behind.
You don't put nothing behind that. Like at one point in time, yes, but if you look at the parties now, and I ain't saying the Democratic Party is the best party. It's got its issues in policies, things I don't totally always agree with. But for me, people of color have the best shot at getting our rights and resources met through following liberal policies. And you can also look at the receipts, look at the bills, look at the legislation that's been passed that Democrats have backed, and look at the policies that Republicans back.
That thing high, milk costing damn near $10 for a gallon.
Yep.
Man, milk damn near $7 for a gallon of milk.
It's crazy. And it's gonna get and the more we continue with this war, the higher things are gonna continue to go.
Are we technically still even in the war? Because I keep hearing war conflict. And Congress still hasn't approved of being in a war.
Correct.
So they calling it a conflict.
Yeah.
It's a conflict.
Yeah, they got
that's the name of it.
It's not a war.
It's not a war. Yeah,
it's a conflict.
That man, he started a war. Ain't no conflict. You started a whole war.
As we threaten to annihilate a whole civilization.
Right.
Dude,
that's a conflict though, right? You talk about you taking out all, and you going on, and you are the sitting president talking about you about to annihilate whole civilization.
That's war crime.
You idiots, open up the damn straits, you crazy.
And the only reason why we in this is because Israel.
Yeah.
And Bibi Netanyahu, and can't stand him.
And you can't say nothing about them because before you know it, boy, you're gonna
they call you're not anti-Semitic if you disagree with what Israel done. That's not being anti-Semitic. That's just disagreeing with the genocide.
And I feel like what we're
there's nothing
doing
wrong with that
over there ain't got nothing to do with us, man. We be in everybody else's business, and we talking about we gotta support Israel. Why? What it is that they have us by our neck that we're just throwing our morals out the window. Because I don't get it. I don't get it why we're so personal.
I mean, the U.S. we've supported Israel for what, over 40, 50 years?
Yeah.
And I believe that Israel is a budget line in the U.S.'s, budget, for offering support.
That's crazy.
That's been over 40, 50 years that we've been supporting
We don't
Israel.
even treat our own residents like that. we don't even get that kind of treatment.
Crazy. It's crazy. And if you people that voted for this, y'all are just, yeah. But here we are. But again,
that's why today's so vital and important.
We got to make sure we get out there and vote.
And then this starting in August, the primary for for the state assembly, all those seats are up.
Yeah. That's when you're
that's his
right.
time.
Vote for Jordan
Let's
Roman.
give you some- let's give you
District
some
12,
shine
State
here.
Assembly.
Go ahead, Jordan,
Now,
man.
wait, you got some events coming up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what you got?
So go ahead.
I seen your one event. I'm definitely coming down.
I'm about to. So this weekend, April 11th, Saturday at 6:30, I'll be having my launch party at IVR Bar.
Yes.
On 107th and Good Hope.
We're there.
Inviting the community out. We're gonna have a good time. Gonna learn more about my campaign. Meet some of the people. We're hoping the people come out to sign up to help volunteer, knock on some doors with me. We start doing the papers. What is it called when you get the signature? Collecting signatures on April 15th. So next week, Wednesday, I believe that is. We can start collecting signatures. So come on down, come support, come hang out for a few hours with me, come get to know me, come know my team. And then let's really start building this movement together so that we can make the change we need to make in this city and state.
We definitely gonna have fun on them doors, man. Yeah. I'm like, I'm a talkative person, so just being able, for those who did answer the door and just sitting there talking with them and leaving, having them dying laughing, like, dude, you stupid.
That's what it's about.
That's what it was about. Hearing the issue from them, and then me telling them what my plan is, and me actually, they're like, you the candidate? I'm like, yeah, I'm the actual candidate. They're like, damn, okay. I put up a reel the other day. I was over by right off of Capitol. I was over by Parkline in that area, off of 47th, off of 43rd and 44th, going from Capitol to right at Parkline. It ends at Hope, and then you got the little creek that's right there by Parkline.
Okay.
So on Congress.
Yeah, on Congress. Yeah,
okay.
right there. So I was talking to the young lady.
By me.
Yeah, talking to the young lady, telling her about my plans and what I was running, and she was like, just because you came to my door, I'm going to get out and go vote for you tomorrow.
I mean, but that's what it's about. Yeah. That's what you should be doing. And what have you learned so far, Jordan, being a candidate? Like, what have you the ups and downs of campaigning?
So, I've only really been knocking on doors for about 2 weeks now.
Okay.
Honestly, so our strategy now is we're targeting the high propensity voters over 50. Obviously in my district, I don't know if it's the same in your district, but in the northwest side of town, we're starting first with those who we are most likely to vote. Right. Okay.
Good strategy.
The strategy is they obviously voted for the incumbent before. So my strategy is to get in front of them, to have the conversation, make sure that I'm presenting with a choice, but someone who's has a plan, who wants to hear I think that's what you just said is very important. I want to hear what you're saying the issues are. I'm not trying to come in with this is my plan A, B, C, and D. My plan should be based on what the constituency is saying. So if my plan is education, but the community is saying community safety, education needs to take a step back for a second. And I need to be focusing 100% on community safety because that's what the community is saying that they need me to do. So that I think that is the biggest thing, is just hearing from especially the elder, more seasoned voters who have been in those communities for a long time. I would just say community safety is probably the biggest issue right now, especially what happened this weekend with the takeover, the teen takeover, even though it didn't happen in their district, but that is something that's
in the city.
Yeah.
It's been a major talk throughout this the entire county. Yeah. Everyone in District 7 is saying that, we do not feel safe. We're giving all this money and we're not feeling safe. Edgeworth Park, for prime example, they count how many times how long it takes for the police to get there, and they say they don't have really no patrol cars over there in the area. And that was one of the residents at the door saying, he was like, one thing we definitely need is start having more patrols over here. They think because it's a quieter neighborhood that it's a safer. They like, no, we have just crime. And the day I was over there canvassing, it was a shooting right around the corner.
You see, that's why they need to contact that alderman too, because
hard to get a hold of.
That alderman can contact that local police district.
It's hard to get a hold of alderman and the county supervisor.
So that's why the community is important. So as a part of my platform, hearing that public safety is a thing is, okay, what is the relationship with the local law enforcement? What are the relationships with the grassroots organizations on the ground? How are you guys collaborating? How is the community being involved? Are the communities being a part of the discussions at those safety meetings every month? Are they saying this is what we need? Do we need more police patrol?
Mhm.
Okay, the police department, are you providing that police patrol in those
this
areas?
an active community.
Like that's the
Andres-
things that needs to happen.
Andres Park is one of those nice little pockets that's in District 7 with a high voter turnout, and they have a whole community association, and they all got their stickers in them window that they proud members of it. So when half of them say they don't know who they have, majority, and I ain't gonna even say half, majority of the 500 plus doors that I knocked on over there, and the ones that did answer had no clue who the county supervisor was.
Yep, I got the
they
same
said
thing.
the
When
alderman, they
voted.
don't return calls, or it's like pulling nails to get them to come to their meetings.
Yeah.
They say they feel like these are celebrities in office,
and they're not. You know, as an elected official, you are not a celebrity. You are a servant
of the
people.
Right.
And I think sometimes folks forget that.
Yeah, you should be available for any of your constituents, whether you think it's a dumb small group or a dumb idea group that you may not even agree with, but because they are calling on you and they want you to come out, do your job. All that. You don't have to go to everything. Yes, anything and everything that you are invited to and your constituents want you there. Gotta be a reason why they want you there. They ain't just want an elected official to come there just to say we got an elected official. No, they got concerns, and they want to be able to talk with you about.
And they want to be heard.
Yeah,
want to be heard.
And if you're not a big organization, they don't waste your time. If you're not a known organization, they vet you. How many members they got? Oh, they ain't nobody. See what happened?
We proved them wrong.
We proved them wrong, right? We definitely proved it wrong, didn't we?
But that again, I'm always looking at systems, right? So the community has to do a better job advocating for themselves too.
Correct.
The community has to demand representation,
and
accountability and transparency and all these different things. And then if that elected official is not meeting those needs, then we have to vote them the hell out. That's how it's called
a recall. I want us all to understand. You can recall any elected official. You just have to gain a amount of signatures in order to do the recall. I believe it's like either 1/3 or 2/3 of the actual voting number for that election cycle for that particular seat, and or for the entire makeup of able voters. So if it's 50,000 residents and 30,000 of them are able, it's a percentage of that able voter pool. So we do have the ability to recall any elected official.
Yeah.
If they're not doing the job and they in there, and that includes these uncontested 15 seats. If we don't like them, recall.
So I pray that you win today.
Yes, I pray.
Any event that you don't, will you use tonight or when you get the result? As like, hey, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, this ain't stopping that. This is just the beginning. I'm here regardless of whether I win or not. I'm gonna be a.
So you start campaigning because you're running again, right?
Yeah, I'm running again, absolutely, and I'm getting in. I'm running until I see change.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and if you win, great. But if you don't, now you already have a base too. Now you have a block of people that you win, and it's an opportunity for you to be like, I'm here, even if I'm not the elected official. I'm showing up at these things. That's again,
still here.
I'm not the elected official, but I'm showing up at all the stuff. I don't see my elected state representative in those districts showing up where I'm showing up. You know, before I decided to run for office, I haven't seen them showing up for those different things. So that's what you got to do.
A statement I made when I was talking with the Wisconsin Black Caucus that, you know, I'm not coming in to plan and to do something. I'm already doing it. I'm doing it on the advocacy piece. That's where I'm a leader in the housing realm. I'm on the executive board for the teachers union. So I'm fighting them for the teachers, fighting for fair housing. So I'm already doing the work. I'm just looking at it to come in from a policy where I have the ability to use my amendment, resolution powers, have a say so over where resources is coming into District 7 and actually having us feel something.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about. So
even if she do somehow.
Yeah, I'm standing on the neck the whole time.
Hold her accountable.
That's all it is. It's
whole. I have recall abilities.
It's holding
I really want everybody in the district to know if things don't work out and she win tonight and we still not happy. It's a recall effort. We can put in, gather the signatures. Look, I knocked 4,500 doors. I ain't gonna have no problem doing a recall with the group.
That's good. I'm proud of both of y'all, man. You know, it's just amazing to see Black represented with you guys, and it's just, man, it's amazing. It's amazing just sitting here. Yeah.
When you running for something?
No.
See, I used to say that too.
This is my platform, right? This is how I'm running. I'm running this. I ain't running for no office.
I said the same thing until
did?
about January 1st.
I like being behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I like putting everything together and seeing it grow.
I've never had ambitions of running for any kind of political office ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't like being behind the scenes. You like being where you being right now. But I've never had ambitions for it. I just don't have I don't have the gut for it. I like to do this kind of thing, to talk and put out information and argue with Black MAGA on Facebook. What? You the one need to run.
Yeah, I second that. I second that.
Need to run, Tay.
Yes.
Tay for alderman.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't have it in me to do it. I love where this is going. Like I said, we've been doing this for a whole year, and I'm like, whoa, this is. Yeah, this has been fun. This has been fun, but yeah, kudos there, because it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Put your stuff out there, because you putting yourself out there when you running for these offices. People don't realize that. Like I said, no one would have never known about the name stuff. Probably had you not run. You know what I'm saying? That now you got your stuff out there. So I don't know what they're gonna come with.
That's why I always tell people, man.
I got a couple ideas.
You got a bunch. Hey, if you got 17 skeletons in your closet, you don't want coming out them closets.
Bro, I don't have a lot of skeletons, but the one I maybe do have, I'm prepared for it.
Yeah. So you cannot confirm or deny. Is that one of those?
I might even get ahead of it.
Right. Hey, they say I might even get ahead.
I might even get ahead of it.
Why you think I? Hey,
right. What you getting from? Right.
I jumped in front of mine, so nobody won't be able to tell my narrative.
That reminds me of that movie with Chris Rock when he ran for office with Bernie Mac.
Yeah. Man,
that's the candidate I want to be right there.
That's funny.
Cracking.
Yeah. So we are gonna wrap, because I don't have anything else. Tonight was just a special night. We want to just come on, remind folks to vote. It's 7:08. You got until 8:00. If you're in line, we ain't got no excuses, y'all. We have to make sure we use this power and stop ceding our power to folks. That power's in that ballot box. So make sure you go ahead and only some plots. Only the 4 schools that are open till 9. Yeah. And they don't from what I saw on the on the news, they don't see any other delays or that impacting.
Yeah.
It probably impact the return of the numbers. That'll probably be a little bit later, because they're not,
the numbers ain't gonna really start trickling in until like 8:45.
9 o'clock.
Yeah,
later than
especially the ones that's open until 9. Yeah, we probably won't see anything until probably like 10, 11. So I'll be up tonight. Yeah, everybody's praying for you,
good
bro.
luck, Stacey.
Praying for you, man.
You don't got a not launch party. You don't got a watch night party tonight?
Nah, I was teaching, so I had to have my teacher hat today. So the wife, we gonna be at the crib,
just watching the results come in. Okay.
Yeah. And I was thinking, I was invited down to a buddy of mine to his bar on the east side, but I'm a homebody, man. Especially during the weekdays. I like to be at the crib, and because after the election over and I get the results, I'm gonna go to bed.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm definitely having a party.
we hanging with Jordan this weekend.
Party for sure.
Hey, I can't even lie.
We going with Jordan the weekend, man.
No, this weekend we coming to hang with Jordan.
We coming to hang with Jordan this weekend. So if y'all want to catch us,
excuse me. For all y'all? No, not yet.
Oh, come on, man.
I got me a t-shirt.
We gonna put that.
I'm gonna wear my Jordans.
Catch us at IBR.
That shit costs money.
Damn, my life.
Catch us what time?
Oh, okay.
One more time.
I'm gonna give you the whole spill to make sure y'all got the information. So again, everybody, Jordan Roman, running for State Assembly District 12. My launch party is this weekend. District 12, so it's the northwest side of Milwaukee, basically from 84th and Lisbon going north all the way to County Line Road, from about 127th all the way to County Line, which is Brown Deer-ish, coming back up between 60th and 76th, staggering back up to that Lisbon area. So
you over by me.
Yeah, man, I got a large territory. So again, my campaign, it was there and then it wasn't there. I'm trying to get the address, but the campaign launch party is at IVR Bar. and that address is 10950 Good Hope Road, Milwaukee, Wisconsin 53224. We'll be there starting about 6:30. I think we have the place all night. The program probably in around 9:30, but we'll be there having a good time. Come learn about me, come learn about my platform, come meet the team, and sign up to support the campaign. Yeah. And if you want more information, check me out at roman4wi.com, ROMANFORWI.com. And let's get this popping.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
And good luck, man.
Good luck, man.
Good luck tonight, man.
All right, y'all. Hey, remember, you still got time. Go ahead. Make that vote. Cast that out. And we will see y'all next week. We don't have anybody confirmed next week. I'm going to try to get somebody on here. If not, you may just see the two broad-headed brothers from Milwaukee.
I actually shaved my head and actually have it.
Yeah. So we might just see us on here just talking some stuff, but we're gonna try to see if we can get somebody in, a feature guest. Could we do? I still want to talk about that this team takeover stuff. I think we need to hit on that.
Yeah.
We could actually talk about that next week. We can talk about that.
You got some guests.
I was posting. My son and his friends was posted one to come on. I don't know what's going on with that.
I definitely would like to hear. I definitely would like to hear from
my son is 16. Yeah,
why they wanted.
I would love to hear. What's going on. People say I'm hearing different things. People saying it's a lack of stuff for them to do.
And that's what I was saying.
They're crying out, but we're gonna definitely hash all of that next week and hopefully come up with some ideas ourselves. So hey, tune in next week, y'all. Have a good evening. Be safe. Be blessed.
Hi, Mom.
Salute.